What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Movie Files. I just finished watching Acolyte, so I'm all set to talk about it. I haven't even written my review yet because my site is just acting foolish, but we're going to talk about it live and in quasi living color. What it do, bro shot? How are you?
Now I since we're on live, I can't say how I'm really doing, but yeah, doing well.
Phony. Yeah. So
Yes,
earlier, Chief. What's up, Chief? By the way, how are you? You looking refreshed?
He's tan too, you know.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that.
So,
what's going on, everybody?
Yeah, Jace texted me and said, "Well, that episode didn't suck." And I text him like 20 minutes into the show. I'm like, "We have different definitions of suck apparently." Because I'm like, "Hey, dude." And then I was like, I knew for them throwing out some lightsabers, Chief was gonna be like, "Oh man, this is amazing." And so I'm like, "Oh gosh, I'm gonna be up here playing the heel tonight," because I was like, "What is happening?" My mind was blowing so much, and I have a text thread with Jace. Let's see here. So this is me, my stream of consciousness to Jace. Like, what is going on with this episode of Acolyte? So it was too much for me. All right, let's get into it. But first, let's say what's up, everybody here in the chat, hanging out with us. 80s kid from the 90s, what's going on? Leave that to me. What's up, Lyles brothers? What's up, Chief? What's up, Imperial Movie Crew? Snake Eyes, howdy.
Howdy.
James Green's here. Hey, Wednesday Night Movie
what up,
Crew.
though?
What's up,
On,
every Jason Chief? Snake Eyes is doing good. And 80s kids off the bandwagon. Forget about Soul Patrol. Don't get me wrong. So it's still cool. However, after last night, I'm part of the Quimera Ravagers. Welcome to the party, pal. Afterchild. Hello.
What's up, Afterchild?
I've been waiting for this 80s kid because I was like, come on, man. We gotta get this thing together. Snake Eyes asking about our topic for the day tonight, not the day. Does this count our top 10? This topic came courtesy of Chief. Top 10 all-time villains in movies and TV. And Chief said not the easy one, so hopefully I have accounted appropriately. Jamlin Parks is here. What it do, crew? What's up, man?
What up, Pops?
So is David Thanos.
Yeah, just freshly back from Jamaica, my friend.
Thank you.
Man, appreciate it.
All right. Let's just jump into it because I want to get into our top 10 and there's a whole bunch of other stuff. But good gosh, Chief, without going into last night's episode, you were way behind on the show. You were all like peace, love, and so you were loving Acolyte. And you were like, listen. Now you were like, oh man, I don't know what y'all are so upset about. I mean, you were making me feel like I was Chief anytime I heard mention of Man of Steel 2. And you know, you were all like, hey, fellas, this is all good. You're on that vacation haze. I get it. But now that you watched these last 3 episodes with the Witch's Brew, what they do, and then you watch the episode after that, what are you thinking now? And don't talk about the one from last night. Just catch us up from your thoughts on the previous episodes.
You remember Romancing the Stone, or what was the
movie? Yeah, or Jewel of the Nile.
Jewel of the Nile. It was one or the other where they went sliding down a hill.
It was great. I wanted to do that.
Yeah, well, that's how this Acolyte is ended up. That thing just went sliding down a hill right into a raging river. And I, usually I'm a guy for certain things in a show, and I was just like, what the hell is this? So, and I pretty much stayed with the hell is this pretty much through the 2 of the episodes I watched today. I was just like, I don't even know what happened here. I don't even know what's going on. I don't know why this has happened. And it was happening at a alarming rate of just people failing. skills not being had by people. I didn't understand the lack of skills.
They were
You
appalling.
don't have to say lack of skill. The Jedi suck.
Well, I didn't want to give too much. I didn't want to put.
No. That's been started since episode 1. The
It was
Jedi
beyond
are
suck,
horrible.
Chase. It was beyond suck. It was if I was a Jedi and the reality here. And
I've watched the movies. I know. I don't know, Chief.
Right.
I think your intuition and skills are a little bit better than these bogus. They found their Jedi degrees, their Jedi diplomas in a trash bin in Mos Eisley's cantina.
It just didn't make sense. The whole show, the Jedis were. I mean, I've never even seen a bunch of Jedis. Look like this before.
You're jumping ahead. So let's just jump ahead into this episode from last night.
Okay.
The Lord of the Rings Jedi crew finally catches up to May, the killer assassin who's taken out 2 Jedi. And May is like, I'm out. I see my sisters alive. I'm leaving the master. I'm gonna be embraced by the Jedi, and everything's gonna be happy. And they lived happily ever after.
Okay, seriously, if you just by saying that right there, hey, I've been training with somebody for 10 years, and all of a sudden one little truth or one lie exposes the whole thing, and I'm out.
It's a big truth, though.
Is it?
Truth. It's a huge truth. She thought her sister was dead. She was getting revenge for the death of her sister.
Well, what about the rest of their whole clan?
She didn't really like it. All right, so the master's like, he's mastered the Sith dust trick, which is the kryptonite to these Jedi, Chief. Like, they cannot counter it at all. Oh no, dust is in my eyes again.
Hey, if you saw that trick before, wouldn't you have a defense for it the next time you see somebody?
Blow the dust away the same way that he did it to me. Anyway, so, and they start off last week's amazing cliffhanger because they needed something to happen in that let's wander around the woods indoor style, open Gangnam style, doing nothing. And then we get a great cliffhanger, and we started, of course, with Osha. I'm like, what are you doing? This was supposed to be hype. We got lightsaber battles, duels going, and then Osha stumbles onto one of the red shirt Jedi who sucks. And my man, the master, is straight up being Palpatine. It doesn't matter how many Jedi you throw at me. I'm going to kill them because they're terrible.
They are terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't understand.
These are the same Jedi who couldn't block some wind. So somebody with a lightsaber, I'm thinking this is no match. It's going to be over in 5 seconds.
Would he force push like 40 of them?
I mean,
I was like, what? I said, it's just one guy. It's just one guy.
Really? One guy.
It was. Yeah, I don't understand any of that.
And Mos Eisley. That's why. Hey, you want this Jedi degree? You want some Jedi robes? You got a lightsaber too.
Then the young girl, she was a Padawan, right?
Hold on. You jumping in?
Yeah, whoa, you gotta wait.
I just want to ask.
Yeah, she was a Padawan. Right. Okay. Yeah. So
hold your notes on that one.
The sucker Jedi get taken out, and I'm like, well, where is Saul? Because of course, the one who should be able to hang with him is pushed away and got way too much dirt in his eye. It's a good thing he wasn't with his girl on the beach, because the bully that kicked sand in him would have incapacitated him for 20 minutes.
Yeah. So Sal's also the first Jedi who breaks out his lightsaber. Also, magically gets pushed so far out of the clearing and out of the way that he's gone for the fight.
We didn't even see him get pushed. There was sand kicked up, and an old boy came through with the lightsaber.
No,
so we have to imagine.
You see them all get pushed away, but maybe it's just come on.
And 80s kids still being diplomatic. Maybe the Jedi are just too laid back and not have been in real combat. Then why they have these lightsabers? Like, for me, it's like, what are you doing with lightsaber training if you're never going to put it into use? And how did this guy learn how to master lightsabers the way they never did? Like, they're literally seeing them in Jedi training courses.
But that's almost like if we show already in the beginning of Jack's training, they at least have the basics of what you should do in lightsaber combat. So at least it's like, hey, here's what this thing does. Here's a sequence to do. So they've been training for this all, let's say, for their Padawan existence. So it's once again just like any soldier. Hey, you may have to do this.
Don't masters get Padawans?
They do.
Supposedly.
So I mean, you don't just usually, dude just sitting there. Hey Jimmy, yeah, what's going on? You got a Padawan today, man. You got to train. Oh man, I just got out of training myself. Those are the breaks. Listen, go over there and we got a mission for the two of you. Okay. I mean, usually you have to have some type of skill that you're teaching your Padawan. Let me tell you something, man. I'm still stuck on that push. When I saw that, man, I was just
I told you the force push is bogus.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself, everybody?
Yeah, just push back.
There's no hand went up. There was no nothing. I mean, these dudes was just like, this dude looked like the greatest duelist ever, bro. He was in that joint just. I mean, what's my man? The old Christopher
Dooku.
Dooku. My man reminded me of Dooku.
No, it's Palpatine when he actually takes out him. Everybody except Mace. That was get out of here, chumps.
I will always say they were like, does Anakin know what he's talking about? Even though we've seen Anakin just wreck shop throughout the Clone Wars. So he kills two right off the jump. And those make sense. Kip Fisto takes a little bit longer, and he's fighting them in close quarters where their numbers aren't helping them. They're like, oh, watch out.
Jeff, it's also Darth Sidious. I don't give a crap. Darth Sidious would whoop I'm sorry, because I watched the Clone Wars. Sidious would have whooped him. That Sidious whoops him exactly like it happens in the movie. Get out of here. You do not have what it takes to beat me. Get out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
all right, so red shirts.
He's killing off all these nameless Jedi who were there supposedly because they're good in a fight, or they just look imposing because they were terrible in an actual fight. And then it's Jackie, and she's still around. I'm like, how is she still here? The Padawan should have been the first one done, like in Clone Wars when Grievous stomps out the Padawan. And so we have this whole deal where she's going after May, and we got all these split screens going. And then, oh boy, slashes Yord's leg, so he should be done. He's like, Saul comes through, run. How? He has no crutch. All right, so he can limp along. All right, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's carrying his lightsaber like a moron through the woods. Like, he's just swinging around. No sense of consequence. Like, oh no, I didn't realize you were this close on me. Osha, I'm sorry, I stabbed with my lightsaber.
Jeff,
I didn't understand that. Like,
these Jedi have no force awareness. I mean, you don't need a lightsaber when you're running. You can actually, you saw how quick Qui-Gon picks it up after like Maul. Okay, meditation's over. Bam, let's go.
Well-deserved hating, my friend. Well-deserved hating.
Well-deserved, Mark. Yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that.
Yeah, he was actually trained to, hey, I know how to fight these guys. Because I've been fighting Qui-Gon, who was trained by Dooku.
Yeah, man. And then I don't know. I felt like Shorty got too cute.
Yeah.
The Padawans.
Okay. All right. So she's fighting May, and then gets her caught up in chains, and she has her handcuffed.
Yeah.
I didn't quite get that because I figured May's been killing Jedi without lightsabers.
Yeah, okay. But
didn't even have one.
All right. So why does Jack Padawan actually hold up against May?
That's my whole question. Like, she's not in martial arts school. Like,
she didn't hang with her the last time. So magically she's now figured out.
There you go, 80s. Welcome. Come on to this side of the room.
He's coming to the dark side. Come on in.
He's seeing clearly. This episode was called Dark, by the way, and a whole lot of light got shedded. So then Jackie's like, all right, well, I can go up on here and stop old boy too, and she's like beating him down with Kelnaka, because who remembers that guy anymore? With his lightsaber, bashes his helmet off, and I was like, "Oh no, we're gonna get the big reveal!" And shout out to everybody who pieced it together that he was Quamir, because I was like, "Oh, okay, that could work."
We already knew that.
I really did not.
We knew that the first time we saw him in the shop. We said so.
I did not.
Somebody
I'm not
did.
gonna go, "Oh yeah, I knew it all along." After I read it, I'm not doing that. I saw it firsthand. I was like, "Oh,
it was Agatha the whole time."
Dude, not. I'm not gonna lie. I will not do that here on this show. And I was like, okay, cool. That was. I mean, I read theories, and I was like, oh, okay, that would be interesting. And he was fine. It was kind of interesting that he lost the helmet. And he was still kind of being funny and talking kind of like how he was. I thought it was a whole act like Yoda, but it really wasn't.
There was no fear. Why wouldn't he? If I walked into a kindergarten school and kindergartners were at their desk eating their Lunchables, and then I walked over and I just started beating the first kindergarten, I wouldn't stop talking. You know what I mean? I would be in that joint pretty confident that I could go through the whole class of kindergartens and walk out pretty much unscathed. You're and right. That's exactly what he did. I mean, he was just like, "Yo, I'm going to go through these kindergartners, and I've never seen. I mean, we can't even call them Jedi. I feel like they're not Jedi.
They're mall cops. Like, come on, that's about as good as they are. Okay, stop, please. No, I can't.
No, I would not say, guys. I wouldn't hurt a child. But I'm saying if these were. But yeah, I just feel like this whole episode, man, they just had the like we laughed a couple of weeks ago about the B team. It's not even the B team, because the B team actually gets something done. Right. These dudes are I feel like they just got a bunch of people, like some drunk people from bars, some people who had just gave up on life. And then they just put some
robes on.
Yeah, put the lightsabers in their hand and was like, "Yo, fly to these planets and do whatever you're gonna do." And then, like, somehow during the trip, everybody sobered up and like, "Yeah, we could do this." And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's getting their moment of clarity now through the duels, man. Because I nobody can fight.
Hey, also, please help me. Oh boy, Quamir takes out some of these bogus Jedi's lightsabers. I mean, and then they're like, "Oh, let me screw it in again. It's back up."
Okay. That one actually does make sense. Like that is like, that's from old school like Star Wars video game. It's called Cortus, or it actually is what actually helped these Sith troopers who aren't Jedi survive lightsabers. That's what his helmet was made out. It's like, okay.
No. I'm not talking about that, because we've seen
his whole
in
armor.
Mandalorian that there's some stuff that's the Beskar armor will reflect a lightsaber. I'm talking about the Jedi who, after Quamir slashes their lightsabers, they go
pause.
Right.
The one girl right in the middle of the fight, she just was like, and I was thinking to myself, why hasn't he struck her down yet? She was just like,
Yeah, I mean, this is one of them. Like, all right, he's toying with these again. He knows he's fighting the mall cops, so it's like, all right, yeah, try see if that helps. It's not. All right, get out of here, punks.
You remember the first Zorro with Antonio Banderas?
Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, and Anthony Hopkins. And he was doing all that crazy stuff with the sword, and then went in and he just kind of smacked the sword out of his hand. Yeah, that's who these guys are, man.
They're terrible.
They are they? Yeah, they are bad, bro. And like I said, you can't call them Jedi at this point. Just people with lightsabers.
They borrowed those lightsabers. They're not. Just.
And then they
that
try
was
to
very
the
cool
colors for us. We're gonna throw in some cool colors. And now, forever associated with some of these colors, I'm gonna be like, "Yo, those are the worst. Those are the worst lightsaber wielders ever." Whenever I see a yellow lightsaber, I'm like,
Hey, let me say this: if you want to see cool lightsaber with the yellow, play Knights of the Old Republic on Xbox. All soft.
Who's doing that?
Sean.
He was doing really cool stuff. I mean, Quamir was, like you said earlier, he's the coolest character in the show because he's the only one that's been made to look cool. And Yord was running back to the ship, and I don't know how many detours he took because it seemed like it took them forever to get back to the ship. I don't even know why Saul was like, run. They weren't going to be able to outrun old boy if he started to chase after him.
Again,
He may as well just had him stay and help him fight.
Remember,
And
these Jedi don't know how to actually do anything without their trusted dog.
What's to do with the dreads with the flip?
Yord.
All right, so he's walking. So the first time I know, he's like, "What are you doing with that blaster? You're gonna have to give it to me." And then somebody said something in the background. He turned his head, and then there was no more conversation about the blaster. That's a weapon of the Jedi, huh? Okay, let's go. And I'm thinking, well, why had the conversation in the first place? So then they're walking through the woods. He's got his lightsaber out. She's like, "Hey, put it away. I sent something." What? So
yeah.
Right. It took him like 2 minutes to shut the light off, right? So they're walking back, and it's just almost, I feel like almost he was just like, do 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 do. Oh, you got me.
You.
And I was like, yo, so we've been rocking with this dude for 4 episodes. And
rocking with?
Whoa. Well, hold on. We're not in a, he's been part of the main cast rocking with him. Not we rock with him. We had to rock with him. We had no choice. He was there. So, I mean, he put up no resistance.
Sure he did. He struggled, and then he got his neck snapped.
And bro, he was just like, and I'm thinking to myself, you didn't force push. You didn't grab for his arm. The dude just basically grabbed you by your neck and was just like, you know how strong you have to be to grab somebody by their chin and just, you know what I mean?
That big. Let me say this. Also, remember, these are lame Jedi, so he probably used the Force to help maneuver his neck around.
Or they're all like Mr. Glass. And they're, you know what I mean? And you can just easily snap the neck.
Snapping necks.
You know what I mean? EPA.
What up, Keith?
What's going on, Keith?
What up? I just I looked at that joint and I was like, is this dude's been here the whole time? How's he? I was like, oh. I was like,
let me see. And this is why, like, when I text Jeff after, I'm like, I appreciated the fight. I mean, because I had no faith in any of these Jedi. So actually making the bad guy look cool, it's like, that's, if you were trying to introduce a bad guy look cool, succeeded.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like your mall cop analogy, Chief's kindergarten class metaphor makes more sense. I mean, I kind of feel like he was just kicking into, shooting a fish in a barrel. I mean, it wasn't like he had a challenge. And then Jackie, the second best Jedi in the whole scene, comes through and she's giving him real business. And then it's like he has like he's got his Ahsoka smaller lightsaber, and he just, I'm like, oh.
But that's what I'm saying. She got cute. She was doing all these turnaround. I'm like, shorty, you're not that skilled yet. None of y'all that skilled yet.
And it cost her.
You know what's going on? I bet you a pizza from the pizzeria of your choice that this dude, the main dude, the Cremier, whatever, I bet he dies in a lame way.
I'm not taking that.
So we've seen him whoop through some Jedis, and I bet you at the end of this thing, he dies on some, oh, you got me, I didn't see it coming.
I mean, I kind of thought
this is gonna be like a flash, pulls his cord, and then he's out.
You know what I mean? Something real easy, you know what I mean? Something real off the cut. Somebody unskilled, untrained is going to kill this dude.
You mean like a non-Jedi sticking her cell phone droid against his back, putting the flashlight on, and then all of these wing beasts come down and swoop him away?
Oh,
why didn't he use the force push then?
Jeff, I had that in my notes. I'm like, wait a minute, you're gonna tell me the big Sith of the show gets taken out by some dang bugs? I was like, you got to be kidding. I was like, y'all are pushing me. Like, I gave you a little bit of. This is the best episode you've given me, but I'm still like, come on, y'all gotta do.
the other guys of the council. Thanks very much, guys.
Oh gosh. But yeah,
I
he's
just watched
very
it.
our what is this? Our master can't figure out. Oh, what's taking me so long? A stupid thing.
I mean, why can't he just use a force and pull it off?
Because
He was flicking people around.
But here's the thing: we need to have him have some way he's not killing these guys in 5 seconds, because we've already established that he can just whoop them. So we got to get him out of it and keep him away from just ending the whole series.
I mean, this could have been the end of the series, and I'd have been fine. Like, all right, that makes sense. So, more back to things that do not. Oh, wait. I forgot about this. Notice he said Jedi would call him Sith. He never called himself a Sith. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, are the Sith typically like, hey, you may not know this about me, but here's my bio, here's my address. Like the Sith, they're all about secrecy. Yes.
Yeah. That's the part. I think you text me. Well, it's like, wait a minute, these dudes, Sith would not let anybody know. Even if you're like, hey, you don't give somebody your business card saying, hey, how you doing? I'm a Sith. Pleased to meet you, Mr. Jedi. You would have the Jedi confused. Like, I don't know why he had a red lightsaber, but there was something different about it. But there's also that Qui-Gon Jinn person who's like, I think a Sith Lord happened. Because he's like, hey, I see a red lightsaber. I think a red lightsaber used to be associated with the Sith. But he's going to give him a heads up, like, hey, how you doing? I'm a Sith. Thanks. Nice meeting you.
He said the Knights of Ren. That would be so far off from then. Why would he start the Knights of Ren?
Oh, gosh. No, he don't have to say he's like, once you see the red lightsaber come up, I mean, do you really need for somebody to be like, I got my red lightsaber? I mean, everybody's like, could it be a Sith? Well, what else could it be? I mean, obviously he's got a red lightsaber.
You look at everybody else in the order, like, hey, does anyone have a red?
Right.
Green?
Red? Bueller?
Orange?
Anybody Bueller?
Red? Anyone?
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe they were all left. They were out of school by the time they taught Sith Day and Red Lightsaber Day. Tomorrow's Red Lightsaber Day, and they're all in there. I ain't going to Red Lightsaber Day. I don't care what it is. And it was Senior Ditch Day or something. Because this was just. I mean, I wonder, has the writers are writing, and they're just reading this off the page to each other, like, oh yeah. Then he defeats 15 Jedis in the woods. Yeah, what do you think? Man, that sounds good. One force push, they all go flying back. All 15? Yeah, all 15. And then, you know what? We'll just have him fight so superbly. He knows Kung Fu. He knows grappling. He knows, and none of the Jedi know anything.
Oh, no, the Jedi know Kung Fu.
Oh,
that's what makes Jedi fights really cool.
They know how to get stabbed. They were good at getting stabbed. I feel like they should wear the armor themselves at this point. Go ahead and get a Mandalorian to loan them some armor. Look, we need to survive. Could you spare some of that armor? Because these dudes, man, they are dropping like flies.
Hey, Jace, help me out here. 80 said this was the very first Ren was around this time. But I just looked on StarWarsFandom.com and they said they were active but during the Galactic Civil War.
Galactic Civil War is Palpatine.
Yes, I know that. Right. I'm just saying, I don't see any mention of them before them.
I don't know anything about the Knights of Ren. That's some sequel trilogy stuff. I do not know. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna say anything.
All right. So anyway, I needed some clarification on that. All right. Well, then the thing I also need a clarification on is, and this is something that we've talked about before. Two good friends of mine happen to be twins. They're identical twins, not like the phony fake me out version we got here on Acolyte. And over the decades, I've known them. You can look at them and see who's who. Glasses, no glasses, hairstyles changed. facial hair. You know, there are noticeable changes with my friends. These twins have no idea the other one's alive. So they're not doing this, hey, cool, let's try to dress alike, let's look alike. I feel like when Leslie Headland, the showrunner, came up with this idea, she was like, all right, they're gonna have Stevie Wonder hair. That's their look. And then it got complicated because she was like, all right, oh, wait a second. I want to do this big switcheroo. So Mae's just like, check out my lightsaber skills that I've never used before. She cuts her hair, and now she's masquerading as Osha. And then she leaves her sister, who she's been so happy to reunite with. She leaves her in a ditch and to be found by Khmer, and then she's gonna run off with Soul. And thankfully, the tracker is like, that's not her. She didn't smell like that. Shouldn't the Jedi know Terrace care? There you go, Jalen. Bring it back, another video game. So I'm just confused. Like, why go through the Stevie Wonder look if you want them to mask, if you want Mae to pretend to be Osha?
Okay.
His hair should be different.
Which question you want to answer first? There makes no sense. Again, they've never seen each other for 10, 15 years. They wouldn't know exactly what hairstyle. On a different planet, there wouldn't be just like, hey, this is a hairstyle that everybody uses all over the galaxy. Just wouldn't happen. Okay. But our next problem is, as I said earlier, hey, Saul sent his former apprentice across space and time, but yet can't sense that this is not his apprentice walking up on him. Like, it does not make sense. It's like it's trying to progress the story, but it does not make sense. It's, please throw away any chance of believability. We need you to throw logic out the window so I can keep this story going. It's all you get,
change, bro.
Like, we don't know. I mean, it's how do you do such thorough job on, I know you've been hurt or something, but I can get all this stuff. Nobody senses anything. There's no blood on you. We're good.
This is whack. This is
okay. And honestly, and the next trend did actually piss me off. I mean, because this was the best episode of the series so far. Yeah, it gave me at least some action. The rest of them didn't give me action that was believable. Because throwing some daggers at a Jedi and kill them, that doesn't make any sense to me. So at the end of the show, Khmer decides to heal Mae.
Osha.
Osha. That doesn't make any sense. A Sith has no healing power, because the anger is what makes a Sith stronger. So getting stabbed would be something you were like, I got nicked in the stomach. I'm going to push through it, and that's going to fuel my power. It's not healing somebody. That's just, I saw it on the sequel trilogy. It's something that happens. It's not. It's
Sith
lame.
healing.
It's like, stop. There's no Sith healing. Like, it's just not. It's not a thing.
All right, Jamelin raises a good point. To be fair, we don't know if their hair has any religious or cultural significance. Although nobody else with the Witch's Coven had hair like Mae or Osha.
Different worlds.
And then where you come from?
Religion probably wouldn't transfer to different worlds, especially one who's on a spacefaring, who's helping out mercenaries. Like, okay.
Lady said, let's hope the new episodes keep getting better and better and better. He never called himself a Sith, Jace. Get it straight.
I really want to hear him, because you would call me a Sith. It would not. I mean, so you brought up the word Sith, the term Sith. I wouldn't bring up, hey, you might call me a lawyer. I bet you're gonna have to figure it out. I'm not Palpatine waving to the universe. Hey, I'm back, guys. Like, nah.
Let me ask you this: do you think that this Sith is more powerful than Palpatine?
Not a chance. He's a kid.
So, and that's the thing. So, Palpatine couldn't heal, but this dude is healing.
No, Vader couldn't heal.
But Palpatine would have healed Vader. Vader.
I get the most powerful Jedi. I'm sorry, the one who has more midichlorians than anybody. I'm gonna pull those. I'm making some new legs and some arms from him. Like because I want him to actually beat me, so we take over the galaxy. But no, it's not. It's not a thing. Yeah,
yeah. Like I said, man, I think I said this last week. At this point, they're just making up their stuff as they go along. I think it's I think this was written during the strike by the other guys.
See, to me, I feel it's written by somebody who's not watched kind of Star Wars. I mean, I don't think you're like a super I watch Star Wars once every year kind of person, but you remember certain things. I think this seems like somebody who was told how Star Wars goes, and they tried to, I think I got it. Somebody gave me here's a lightsaber file. Like, okay, that's what you do. This doesn't seem like anybody who's really like, hey, I watched this for the last 5 years and know everything. So
we've been led astray, run amok, bamboozled.
Again,
all right. Well,
Jeff said what you said about Star Wars. I mean, the show. Like kind of like, does it matter?
Oh, I mean, this to me is like the sequel trilogy. I don't really care what happens. I'm just like animated just from watching it. And ultimately, it doesn't matter. A lot of things that they've tried to do, some of these live action stuff just hadn't worked for me. And I'm good. So I've got my Star Wars that I really enjoy. Mandalorian, Andor, Ahsoka, the other A's. And they went solid. So, they can have a bad one. I don't care. Didn't really matter. I'm not going to rewatch this thing. Just keep moving. Jayla says, Jace, please never introduce midichlorians into the argument. That was some Qui-Gon fringe theory stuff.
Yeah.
Bert, what's going on? I'm sorry, the Acolyte is just too political for my taste. I wish Star Wars would just get back to good stories. What's so political about it?
Yeah.
It's been a bad story. I don't know how political it is.
That's the one thing I don't get.
Well, Leslie did hire a non-Star Wars fan, and the writer questioned her why she would hire her.
Oh, you're saying Kathleen, right?
No, Leslie Headland hired a non-Star Wars fan to the writer's room to ask questions. And she was like, oh, this is exciting because, they're making us think, or she was making us think about things that we hadn't considered.
Okay, that to me, that you should have your person who doesn't know everything about Star Wars. Like, okay, if this is my first introduction on Star Wars, how would you throw me in and make me enjoy it?
No. Why would you have somebody? I mean, why would anyone have this be their first taste of Star Wars? Like that doesn't make sense.
Okay, so chronologically, this
hold on. It's a rare occasion. It's a full moon out tonight, as Brandy would say. And yeah, it is. It is. And you know why I know? Because of this. Bam! Wacky D is in the house, and I can dance. What's up, J King?
J King.
What's happening, gentlemen?
I know you caught up on the Acolyte.
Yeah, I did. No, I didn't. I haven't watched a single second of the Acolyte.
Don't worry, we're almost done talking about it. All right.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, to me, you don't need to go. Let's do some outside things. Let's have a non-Star Wars fan. Don't have someone who knows everything from Star Wars be part of your writer's room, because you're writing to Star Wars fans. You're not writing to someone who's always watched Downton Abbey. You're not writing to someone who binges The Real Housewives. You're not doing that. You're writing this show for Star Wars fans.
Okay, but if you were to have, because in chronological order, this is their first live action thing. So it's like if I was. You know how like Disney Plus does it? Like here, chronologically, here's the time order you should watch the Avengers movies. And it's like
I bet you if they were to do that with this, they would, if they had their analytics team, they would see that no one would keep going through the rest of Star Wars if Acolyte was their entry point.
But your initial idea was, hey, put somebody who's never watched Star Wars into a room and question hey, why do they do this? hey, why? In your job at that point is to explain, hey, the Jedi don't need a tracking dog because they have this force power that allows them to do it.
And that's why you don't have somebody who's not versus Star Wars, because you get dumb stuff like that. Well, what if they had a tracker?
But you're supposed, your job is supposed, if you're in the writing room, your job is to say, no, here's why you don't need it. Because of X. You don't let them actually redeem your force walnut dog. You literally say, we don't need him. He's not cute. We don't need it. Because our Jedi.
He's kind of cute. I feel like you're hating on the cuteness of, Basil.
Jeff, the fact you remember this thing's name is impressive. Good job.
Only because they made a Funko Pop of him. All right, let's get on to some other stuff here. You send me some things. Let's talk about Blade. This thing that is impossible, just absolutely impossible for anybody to come up with a good idea on how to write a movie about a guy who's half human, who's half vampire, and have him fight vampires.
Oh, word.
And in today's latest news, Delroy Lindo, a really talented actor who absolutely would have been an asset, has left Marvel's troubled Blade production. He's out. He doesn't have any more time to sit around and wait. It's been 5 years since this thing was announced. No progress, no nothing. 80s Kid says Blade's a fake movie. Yes, Blade. I love that film. Yeah, I mean, just kind of feel like it's too easy. And so Delroy's out. There's rumors that Mahershala is also out. And I just kind of feel like what's going on? What's happening? What's the issue? So what do y'all think about this? Why is Blade so hard for anyone over Marvel Studios to get a handle on? J. King, go for it. We haven't heard from you too much.
It's not a priority to them. I'm going to start with that low-hanging fruit. Excuse me for the office jargon, but that's probably the long and short. It's not a priority because, I mean, you look at the projects that have made it out in this last 5 years, and Blade is still kind of sitting in the nether realm, and it tells me, one, they don't have a good script. Two, it's not going anywhere. It's like on the shelf. It's a movie, but they have nothing yet. And when you don't prioritize things, that's kind of what happens. It's just not a priority, so things fall off the table. And you keep pushing it back, and you pushing it, and you push it back, and you push it back. It's like a thing around your house that you know you need to fix, but it's not an emergency. It's not like it has to get done right away, so you just keep pushing it off and pushing it off. That's kind of how it is to me.
But couldn't you? I mean, this is right. Could you not make money off Blade? How simple the concept is.
Jason, they made 3 movies. They know they can make money off of it, especially now under the MCU brand. It's just not a priority. I don't think it's a priority of theirs right now, and that's why it's just sitting.
I get it's not a priority, but if you need some, you're a struggling baseball team. I mean, sorry, no, you're in a baseball game. The one thing you want is we need some hits. We can come back if we just get some, I just need a single to get on, my guys to get on base. Blade is your easy guy who can just get you, all right, here's single. All right, now I want to get back into the MCU because these Blade movies, which are simple, make money. I want to go see it. I don't get that.
I don't understand it either. I just think the MCU, and look, I'm looking at the chat of the MCU was done, bro. I feel y'all. I
don't feel that at all.
Jeff, what's the last MCU hit? What's the last big
one? All right. Let's see here.
You had to say, let's see here. It's done.
I mean, all right, the last true hit where I was like, oh man, that was good stuff. Probably Shang-Chi.
Oh.
Are we talking about movies or are we talking about
movies?
Adam West.
I mean, I like Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I'm not gonna. It's just kind of like it's been a minute since it was just like, oh, that was awesome. Because I felt like the issues that I had with Black Panther Wakanda Forever were simply that they didn't need to let's kill off T'Challa. I thought that was an issue, and whatever. That's what it was. So that's been a problem. All right, so let me see. Let me go through phase 4 again. Let's see. The last one was I'm sorry, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 for sure. And I like the Marvels, but I really like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So that was just last year. So they have not done what they did back in the Infinity Saga, where I have to think, where it's easier to think. I didn't love Iron Man 3. I didn't really love Thor the Dark World. And that was it. For the rest of it, it was great.
Let me ask you this about Guardians 3. Did you feel like it was a familiar movie? Like you've seen this already?
Guardians Volume 3? No.
Yeah.
I mean, I like those characters and giving them a new adventure, putting more of the spotlight on Rocket, killing off some lab animals. That hit me all in the feels, man. I was like, what are you doing? Exactly, Snake Eyes. David Thanos says Guardians 3. Bird's like, Blade is not going to happen.
No.
Guardians 3 was the last good one. Wakanda Forever did well. It might not have been a smash hit, but it was solid at the box office. Exactly. Guardians is exceptional because of James Gunn. And I think people like the cast. And that was the only one out of Endgame where the entire cast was still intact. They killed off some Avengers. All the Guardians made it through. I mean, Gamora sort of kind of, but she was in the movie prominently. So they didn't have like the, oh man, everything's changed like they did for basically everything else except for Spider-Man. And Spider-Man was the biggest post-Endgame hit by far of all these other films.
Guardians 3 felt like we loved the cast. We're familiar with the cast, so we gave it leeway. We excused it. It wasn't great. It's not one to think. It's not the first two. Even the second one was. The second one's kind of, I don't know, I guess kind of better than the first to me. But it wasn't either one of those films. It was really familiar, and it was safe. I don't know.
See, I'm just Javon, because I'm like, to me, Guardians 2 really felt like kind of this homage to fathers. That's why I really like that, because it's like, hey, this is one that's like, here's the father you got, but here's the one you were given, but here's the one you got, and you have to, and loving that. I really dug that message. 3, I very much like I said, I love the cast. I like the cast, and I think they did a good job of once again bringing that emotion. That's like, hey, this character you didn't understand. We're gonna give you that real good explanation and exposition on why this character is like it. And I thought James Gunn did a good job of pulling emotion out of us. I think a lot of these other ones, and I think the Florida phase, whatever we're on, phase 5, there's no emotion. You're not connected to anything. All
right, Chief. Is the MCU dead?
Nah, I don't think the MCU is dead. I think one of these joints will come out and hit. Still, they'll probably do another Spider-Man. They'll probably do well.
Are you checking the parlays? Your head is so low.
Nah,
like David.
He's still watching Acolyte. That's what's going on.
Yeah, I am.
I was thinking about the Blade, man. I was thinking maybe if only there was a source material they could go to and get the story from to produce a movie, like maybe a book of some kind. They could go pull stories from.
But the crazy thing about Blade, you don't even have to go, what's the definitive Blade story? It's a dude who's fighting vampires. You don't have to go deep into comic book lore. Let's come up with a cool villain. You can put Blade in 30 Days of Night. Oh, he's in Alaska. There's no more sun for 30 days. Throw Blade into that scenario. Done. Like, we didn't even connect there.
Okay, Javon, because you haven't been on here, what would you, if you were casting our Blade movie, what would you give us?
What would I give you? Honestly, I would cast. He's probably a little too old now.
Now, what's our storyline? I say,
what's our storyline?
What's the storyline?
Our storyline is what you would want to see out of a movie like Blade. I need a baddie, and I need endless waves of baddies to throw at. I need bad guys to throw at Blade, right?
So
But
is this an Instagram baddie or a vampire baddie?
Hey, look it. Let's keep it current with the time. She could be an Insta baddie, but a baddie all the same, right? I would cast Megan Thee Stallion as the villain.
No. She's already been in the MCU, and we don't want to revisit that.
No, we can bring her back. She's a vampire, a vampiress queen, or whatever. You side now, but you're gonna get a lot of people that wouldn't come through the gate otherwise, Jason. And I'm joking. Honestly, he's got to fight somebody who gives him a challenge at the end. I want to see Blade have that final boss, right? Mm-hmm. In that first movie, somebody that throws.
So you want to see him fight The Rock?
Hey, as long as we can get and call it the bloodline that he has to fight. It's the
there you go. See, we got it right there.
That actually works really well.
Done.
Put me in charge.
Exactly. Hey, Javon, you've been watching this stuff lately, though, right?
Of course.
Man, we got to talk about this later because, good gosh, so good. Anyway, James,
I told you.
It's been great. It's on life support. All right. So, Chief, I know you're excited about this news. The Fantastic Four, while he did an interview with the Marvel podcast, the official Marvel podcast, Kevin Feige said, yes, Fantastic Four is taking place in a different universe. It's not our Earth. It's an alternate reality. 1960s.
1960s. Is that what y'all doing now? Listen, I'm so glad this is happening to y'all. I'm so glad that it's taking place in the 60s and you're getting a Fantastic Four that doesn't exist in the modern. Y'all, I'm so glad this is happening to you. And I hope it beyond sucks. I hope that when you leave the movie theater, you think about just taking your car and just driving it off the road on 295.
Wow.
And listen, man.
That is
Fantastic Four. Listen,
really
man.
It's cursed.
Listen.
Jalen says an ancient baddie named Huck Tui that spits acid.
Well, listen, you don't want that. You don't want that because nobody's leaving the movie theater. Everybody's just sitting there for the next movie to run again. Yeah, y'all gonna get what y'all want for this Fantastic Four, man. And y'all deserve it, man. All y'all deserve it.
Here's my thing. I'm like, can no one just the 60s? Just you can't put anything in the 60s. It was effed up. Like you can't put anything with a diverse cast in the 60s. Just like I don't care what you. Because you're going to start pissing people off. Like, it's an alternate book. Come on.
Wonder Woman 84, gentlemen.
That's what I was, period pieces. Never a good idea outside of, where's your mute?
My fault.
He is literally being Galactus on here. The costumes look like they're made out of sweaters. Wow.
Y'all deserve this, man. I swear to God, y'all deserve
You know what,
this.
Steve? Here's something that you deserve. So HBO is now going to be the home for DC Studios' Lanterns TV series. It's not going to be on Max. You can watch it straight on HBO. Tom King, who's working on it, is very excited to be working with Damon Lindelof of Watchmen and Lost fame. They're going to be bringing this to you. Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, they're going to be teaming up. And and this should be the sequel to your Green Lantern film that you know and love so well.
Just first of all, don't attack me because
you said I deserve to go off the road for watching the movie.
Listen, because you need to get what you get. You've been pushing this movie. You know it's going to be some bum sauce. And you've been on this joint all the time talking about Fantastic Four. And now, as the joint starts to play out, you realize it's going to be shite. Pure shite. And I'm glad that you found this out here now. I'm glad we're all together on this podcast together, finding out just how great your Fantastic Four will be. You know what I mean? And I hope the villain is a crappy villain. You know what I mean? Mr. Puggles. You know what I mean? Something just really crazy. And you
after he's taking out Bruce Willis, he can also take out the Fantastic Four.
You know what I mean? Thank you, Thanos. Because everybody's tired of it. Everybody's tired. You guys are like Fantastic Four, yeah. Oh, long neck Superman, yeah. That's the worst. Listen, that's the worst Superman costume I've ever seen, man. His neck looks it's 3 feet long.
He looks like Merton Hanks.
You know what I mean? This dude's neck is just extended neck. I'm looking at the joint. They're like, man, the new costumes are out. I'm like, how come nobody's commenting on the size of this dude's neck? You guys just want to ignore all that. You know what I mean?
I prefer to talk about Mr. Terrific. He looked good. No crazy braided hair that's going to pop up when it's time for a fight. He had the T over his face, wore the fair play, looked good. And my man looked like he actually fits out like Mr. Terrific. It doesn't look scrawny. Looks like he's ready to do some damage. I feel like the Superman suit is going to get tweaked in post-production so they can tighten it up, make it look straight.
Let me tell you something, man.
It looks like
his neck so long when he talks, he sounds like he's echoing. It is just a bad long neck. And you guys deserve the Superman you're getting.
That Superman suit looked like the old California Starburst package, man.
It was horrible, bro.
It looks crazy.
Horrible Superman suit. It was a horrible Superman suit. Like somebody's mom just was like, oh, here you go, baby. And you wear this for Halloween. And they just threw it on him. And they don't care that he goes out and he's got the wrong boots on. He's got some Timbs on with a Superman costume. It just was stupid. It was stupid. And the Fantastic Four is stupid too.
Oh man, that was a lot of quality stuff there, Chief. Wow. Welcome back from vacation.
Good to be back.
No, you just took the whole vacation buzz away from
just some cold water.
Some cold water.
Jace, you've been watching The Boys now, caught up with Chief. Have you been enjoying it?
Have I been enjoying? Yes, but there's some troubling scenes on there.
Scenes.
There's some. I can't even say what scene I actually saw it. It was like no one needed to see that.
Are you talking about season 4 or season 1 of The Boys?
I think it's on episode 3. There's just like, I understand you don't have anyone telling you what not to do, but some of this, it doesn't move the story forward to film this scene. And it was just like, no, just, I don't know. When it was one of this, and be like, I'm trying, I'm going to be, I got to tell you, because I just want everybody to know. There is a scene where there are 4 or 5 gentlemen having a time with each other. And they're all the same person. That was unnecessary. You had to do CGI to make this happen. And it's like, come on, that's not moving the story forward. It's just shock value. Nobody wants to see that. Like, it's just, come on.
Well, now you just made it go viral talking about it, so.
There's probably not even things on the internet about this because everybody's like, really, guys, that's a bit much.
Jace, is The Boys meant to be messed up because the comics, oh boy, that thing is messed up.
Snake Eyes, that's one of those, you see that scene, you're like, come on. Like, just give me some action. There's plenty of stuff, the usual Boys, somebody gets their head taken off. You get plenty of that, but that scene is just, that costs you money to make this scene. Come on, guys.
Man. Whew. David Thanos says, feels like you're talking multiplicity with Keaton.
Yes, I am. I really am.
All right, well, let's keep it moving from The Boys. All right, Chief gave us a homework assignment, and he was like, listen. Hold on here. James says, sounds like you're describing The Boys. The comic ran out of substance pretty quick. If you ask me, it was mostly for shock value. Jamelin, I'm right there with you. I haven't gone back to Gen V because, like, okay, we get it. You're so edgy and so extreme. It's like
Yeah.
it's just boring.
Yeah,
Just
when the Outlander had a floating wank, I was done. I cashed in my chips, dog. I'm good.
it's just they just keep doing stuff to like, let's see if this gets him to stop watching. I'm like, all right, you got me. I just haven't been motivated to get back into it. It's just kind of is what it is. So we'll see. All right, I had queued Chief up to talk about this idea, and then Chief went dark. I guess he's just reminiscing about the boys. Let's hear it for the boys. All right, Chief. Now you gave us this idea. Since it was yours, go ahead and cue it up.
All right. I think it was 10 movie villains.
Or TV.
10 villains.
Right.
TV, movies, shows. So put your villains in. We got our villains. And let's get it cracking.
You tried to give us some regulations. You said, let me see, no Hannibal Lecter or Guy from Seven. Too easy. So you wanted us to come up with some heavy hitters. So why don't we do this? Why don't we do 5 at a time? So we don't just run through all of our lists right away.
Okay.
And since it's your idea, why don't you go first with your first 5?
All right. My first 2 were cartoons. Right.
Okay.
So Cruella de Vil.
Oh, okay.
Who wants to make a coat out of Dalmatians? Pretty evil, if you ask me. Pretty villainous, and went through no. There was no shorts that were going to be taken. You couldn't persuade her. The second one is, although I liked Angelina Jolie's version, the original version of Sleeping Beauty with Maleficent. Mm-hmm. When she turned into that dragon, I was a child at the time. And she turned into a dragon. She was like, I'm bringing with me all the powers of hell. And I was like, oh, God. And I remember watching that joint as a child, like, oh. So those are my 2. Now, third one, the devil from End of Days. Bro, this dude just went hard. And this dude walked into a worshiper's house, grabbed this man's wife and his daughter, and was like, we're going in the room. We'll be back. And the dude was just sitting there at the table. You don't remember that?
No, I do.
Oh, so
Gabriel Burns in that movie was like, okay.
Yeah, this dude was just, he was a wild, he was the devil, but then like he would always make deals with you as you were burning on fire or at your worst time. He was collecting souls in that joint. So I did enjoy that. Excellent devil. Ann Wilkes, Misery.
It's good. Solid choice.
Bro, when she hobbled that Bama, and I remember I had the VHS, and you could slow-mo it. And we used to watch when she brought that sledgehammer down on my man's foot, the way that just was like, crack. Oh, yeah, to see that powers of hell. All the powers of, yeah, that joint, man. And she,
all right. Before you go too much further, I've got to show you this because this just happened on Monday Night Raw. Seth Rollins wears the most outlandish outfits. I kind of like it because it's just like, what is this dude going to come out with this time? This was his outfit on Monday.
That's his Dalmatian outfit.
The Cruella de Vil.
He got the full Cruella de Vil look. I was like, this dude is wild. All right. So, I'm sorry, I had to show you
problem, man.
Before I forgot.
So that's Ann Wilkes of Misery.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't think anybody celebrated this dude's death. This is one of the greatest villains' deaths because you hated this dude, was King Joffrey. Game of Thrones.
Oh.
And when he
like, what did he do?
When he drank that poison, man, and he started to die, and you was just almost at home, just like, well played.
That's not true. I rewound that scene so many times.
He was just a hated villain, bro. That dude
he
was just pure evil for no reason. So those are my first starting 5.
All right, let's see here. Let's go into some of the choices from the crew here. James says Simon Phoenix. Burr says Demolition Man is a great movie. All right, let's see here. J King, you got your 5 ready? Or your first 5? You're on mute.
Damn, sorry. First 5 out the gate. Y'all may not like it. I don't care. Robin Givens. For Robin Givens to get up there, and look, this ain't got nothing to do with her acting. I never seen her in anything that she was good at, other than Boomerang, because she was a villain in that to me. But Robin,
she was a villain in Boomerang. What are you talking about?
That's what I said. She was the villain. I said that.
Oh,
she
absolutely.
Was the villain.
You thought she was the villain?
Yeah, she's the villain.
Oh, come on.
She's the villain. I mean, look at Marcus didn't do himself any favors. I ain't taking up for him, but she was a villain too. Darling. Marcus was Marcus, but she was a villain too. But in life, Marcus, don't ever forget, Robin Givens got up here on 2020 and said Mike Tyson beats her in front of the world. And anybody with half a brain knows if Mike Tyson would have laid a hand on that woman, hey, look, you ain't going to like what I'm about to say. Disclaimer, these views do not represent the point of views of Lyles Movie Files and their participants. But if Mike Tyson would have put his hands on her, she'd look like Emmett Till. Okay? Yeah, I'm saying
that's a strong, spicy meatball.
Dude, you can take it.
Lyles Movie File does not take that.
Hey, I already gave the disclaimer. Hey, I'm on some Cameron right now. It is what it is. If he'd have put his hands on that woman, her face would have looked deranged, man. Let's be real. Let's be really real. She lied and got away with that and ruined that man, set that man on a bad trajectory. He recovered ultimately, but that's what lets you know people can do really bad things without care of how they affect other people. Which brings me to the second one, Jada Pinkett. Yeah, same thing.
These guys just real life villains.
Yeah, these are villains. But they're in the acting world. They're actresses, so it counts. Yeah. So yeah, she's a villain too. Glenn Close as Alex Forrest in Fatal Attraction. And look, I'm not bashing women, but these are great villains. Alex Forrest was a villain, and she boarded his son's rabbit. And she really tried to destroy this man, but she boarded the rabbit. You know,
the rabbit was a heel move.
Hey, that was a heel move. Don't do that. Hey, look at man. He don't want you. You knew the situation. You knew the time. You don't go nuts like that. That's just crazy. That's crazy. Next up, Alonzo from Training Day. Alonzo was a bastard. He was a bastard. And that was the thing about like the premeditated setup of this whole thing. Hey man, Jake caught a break, man. He really did, bro. Had he not saved my man that plays evil Mexican in every movie they need an evil Mexican in, if he hadn't saved his niece, oh, he's done. He's done. His scene ends in that bathtub, right? Well, the story ends in that bathtub. Alonzo set this thing up all week and was going to use my man as his foil. That's villainy. That's villainy.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Number 4, and I love how, I was pitching this to somebody earlier at work. One of my guys at work, David, we always have this kind of banner, he'd be perfect for this kind of thing. But I said Biff Tannen is a great villain because Biff is everyone's bully. He's a total jerk off, man. I didn't know you liked to get wet.
Sticky
a little sticky egg. He set my man up totally. But no, Biff Tannen, dude, he's a big, dumb guy who takes advantage of weaker people. We all know this guy. We all know a Biff Tannen. I love how Biff World in the second movie is basically he's basically Donald Trump, and I love it. I loved it, man. Biff Tannen was Donald Trump. Biff World was crazy. I love that shit. But yeah, Biff is a relatable bully. He's not over the top. He's over the top, yeah, but he's not totally unbelievable. Everybody knows a Biff. A big guy who's a jerk because he's a big guy. And that's my 5 right
All right, Chase, you want to go with your 5? Hold on before you do that. 80s is put in 5, I think. Lotso from Toy Story 3, solid choice.
Solid
Voldemort
choice.
from the books,
Yeah.
Ricardo Montalban. God!
God.
Lord Farquaad from
Shrek.
Huh?
Shrek.
Ah, thank you.
Lord Farquaad was an ass. Hated that guy. He was an
Shredder
ass.
from the 90s movies. And Scar. Okay.
Okay.
I knew Biff in elementary school. All right, let's see here. Let me see if who else has put some in. Randy Reviews. Let me break the ice with Agent Smith. Mr. Anderson.
Good one.
Welcome back.
He was a great villain.
He was.
Bert Jaws from James Bond.
Yeah, Bert.
Let's go.
All right, let's see. Kingpin from the comics. Johnny Ringo from Tombstone. Be your Huckleberry. All right, bro. What do you got?
Okay.
Your first 5.
All right. My first 5. All right. Hans Gruber.
Absolutely.
Right. Ramsey Bolton. That was another dude. When he got his, you were like, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, freaking heck.
The Ramses, yeah.
Malignant from First Night.
That's been a while.
Wait. First Night or Knight's Tale?
No. First Night, the one with Sean Connery and Richard Gere.
I couldn't get with either of them as Arthur or
either one. But he was like, I am gonna try and make this a good movie. He was like, let me push it up. Come on, y'all. Like he was trying to carry that thing. He was a bastard. I liked him. M. Bison from the Street Fighter 2 movie.
Psychopath.
Oh, that dude was man, I was ready for him to go. And Nadine from The Stand. That woman scared the hell out of me. And probably
where?
Nadine from The Stand, like the 80s, the 80s TV version of it, adaptation.
Okay.
Nadine scared the crap out of me. Oh, I'd go back and watch that again because man, she was good.
Snake Eye says Darth Vader, Miles Quaritch from Avatar, Proxima Caesar, New Planets of the Apes, Jason Voorhees, Megatron. Is that him?
I agree.
Good ones.
David Thanos says Gus Fring from Breaking Bad, Willem Dafoe was Green Goblin, Mr. Smith from Matrix, Javier Bardem, No Country for Old Men, and of course, Thanos.
Good one.
Lord Darkness from Legend, says Jamelin.
Yeah. Yes.
Elon Musk, Sean Puffy Holmes.
Yeah, I was going to argue that one.
Robert Kelly.
The Banished from Halo. I haven't played Halo, so we'll take your word for it. Let's see. Abomination from which one? Anyone ever see To Sleep with Anger? I have not.
Mm-mm.
All right, let's see. Danny Glover was despicable in that.
Oh, okay.
Pyramid Head from the old Silent Hill movie. Yeah.
I just watched that. That movie still freaks me out. That was good. All
right, let me see. Let me go with my bottom 5. All right, let's see here. Make sure I got this just so. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So Benjamin Linus from Lost. That dude was awesome. He was such a great villain. And he was flipping things and he was just awesome. Great performance and just an awesome bad guy. And I gotta put Joffrey on that list too, because man, I could not stand that little twerp. Could not stand him. I mean, right from season 1, you're gonna kill Ned. You could not stand him. And every season he was around was like an offense. So I was so happy when he took that sip and started turning purple. I rewound that thing, no lie, 10 times because I could not stand him. So he's on there for sure.
That's one dude. He quit acting after that because you're not going to get better than this role. He can clean up on the convention circuit because you're like, I hated you and I will pay $50 your autograph just because I love seeing you get your in. Great job.
I'll pay $50 just to tell you I hate you.
Exactly, man. And thank you for it.
So he was so great there. Hans Gruber, of course. I mean, the Euro trash villain is the archetype right there. And let's see, it's 1, 2, 3. Next up, Pennywise from It, whichever one you want to go with, because Tim Curry and Bill Skarsgård are both awesome in that. And that reminds me, let's see. And then I gotta go with my boy Ivan Drago. If he dies, he dies. Creed killer. I mean, this guy was an 80s icon villain. And oh man, he was just like, oh gosh, he's gonna kill Rocky too. And he was so perfect in that role. And yeah, even when I'm watching now, I was like, this dude would have killed people, and he did. So yeah.
Hey Jeff,
right. Yo,
when he looked down at Rocky when he was holding Apollo's head,
absolutely, that whole cold look,
yeah.
like you knew what was coming. You sit back and let that happen.
You're supposed to throw in the towel. This is your fault, Rock.
This is your fault, Rocky.
This is on you.
If he dies, he dies.
He dies.
Right. All right, let's see here. Drago, hateable for sure. Exactly. All right, let's see. Where else? Did I leave anyone else? Sorry. So 80s has more. And Berta said Cobra Commander. Which one? This one of the current comic books is awesome. Randall from Monsters Inc. Yeah, solid. Green Goblin, No Way Home. Absolutely. He was an actual villain in this one as opposed to others. Bert says Pinhead from Hellraiser.
Oh,
yes.
Anthony Rogers is here. What's up, Anthony?
Hold on, man.
Jigsaw and his brother Looney Bin Jim from 2008 Punisher movie. That is a solid choice, man.
Solid one,
that movie is really underrated.
Yes,
I mean, people. That's one of the. If you want to see a good Punisher movie, go Warzone.
That's a great. You know, it was panned. That's what pissed me off. That movie was panned when it was good.
Yeah, it was a Punisher movie.
It was a Punisher movie. Why won't? And here's the thing, MCU, you want to get on track, do a Punisher movie.
Well, they got Punisher showing up in the Daredevil season 4.
Seriously, I'm just here on bed. Why you gotta throw some hate on me?
I didn't throw any hate. That's in season 4. David Thanos says Jason, Freddy, Candyman, Michael Myers, and Heath Ledger, Joker.
See how I only said it 2 times there, folks.
Said it 3 times, actually. Thanos.
Yeah.
Ganondorf from Legend of Zelda says Afton Child.
Yes.
Darth Vader. Grand Moff Tarkin says Bert. Michael Bay. Oh, what's so bad about Michael Bay?
Jeff, you hated Transformers. Come on.
Michael
He
Bay
wasn't even on screen in that.
Our childhood.
So now guys, Buggy from One Piece, live action in the anime. The Predator says Bert.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Shameless Systems might be a cheat, but the Borg. I don't think that's
Not cheap. Right, that's real.
Snake Eyes, Scream, Billy Loomis, and Stu.
Oh man,
what's so bad about them? They're really great though. I'm with you. Randy review says Javier Bardem is on No Country for Old Men. Boy was ruthless and resilient as heck, and he had a terrible haircut.
Hey, he had a terrible haircut, and what about his weapon of choice? That was something we had never seen. That was awesome.
Then he make you choose. Flip the coin.
Hey, dude, that was
and you couldn't talk your way out of flipping that coin either.
Hey, and that was I hate to say disturbing, but it kind of was. Hey, this old man didn't do anything to you. Let him live.
You just kind of living your life here, huh?
Yeah, that's what made him such a good villain.
Great call, David.
I agree, David.
Yes. I do enjoy a good murder.
All right, Chief, it's back to you. Who's your final 5?
All right. I wrote a whole list of a whole bunch just in case y'all would take them.
All right. We'll go.
No. I mean, I'll give you 5 if you're going to do 5.
No, go for more. I mean, for now, do your next 5 and then.
So I'm going to go with Samara from The Ring. Hey, I remember the first time I was on the couch. I was laying with a lady, and the phone rang, and I could feel her heart. It wasn't my phone that rang. It was her phone that rang. I could feel her heart pumping through her chest, and I was like, oh yeah. I said, that joint scared the mess out of her. So my next one is, he kept beating him, and then he finally said you was William Money out of Missouri, a killer of women and children. That's right. I've killed women, children, and anything that's either walked or crawled at one time or another. And I'm here to kill you, little Bill. Little Bill, baby.
Man,
that
was good.
You know what I mean?
He was great.
I'm going to go
Sir,
with...
you just shot an unarmed man.
You should have armed yourself before you decorated the saloon with my friend.
Classic.
I'm going to go with a Harry Potter joint because I've been seeing Voldemort, but really the true villain was Bellatrix Lestrange.
She was crazy.
Shorty was out of her mind, and she loved to laugh as she killed you. Avada Kedavra. That's what it was. And just hit you, bro, and just giggle her sick little tail off. Another one is Valak, Conjuring 2. The Conjuring 2, man, I've loved all the Conjurings, but the Conjuring 2 was just something about that movie that just made it excellent for me. And that villain, man, at the end when they put the two recorders together, let me go. So that's 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I got one more. And this dude didn't start off as a villain, but
he's fine. He's just away.
But he ended up as a villain when he wouldn't kill himself, and that is David from American Werewolf in London. Listen, man, he knew at some point he knew. Jack was like, listen, bro, this is what's happening. You got to kill yourself to stop the curse. And my man was like, I ain't gonna do it. And I ain't gonna do it. So eventually he became the villain. Excellent, of course, one of the greatest werewolf movies. But he at the end, my man was the villain. So that's my 5th one on this one.
All right, J. King, you ready for your next 5?
I am. This is rooted in movies, y'all, and one cartoon. So Sauron. Yeah. Evil. Nobody mentioned Darth Sidious. I don't know why. Darth Sidious is the embodiment of evil to me. Because to take from Denzel from Training Day, man, this is chess. How long was his plan? And he saw it through, though. He saw it
Hey,
through.
guys,
I'm
back.
Yeah, and came back for seconds. He wasn't done. And you don't stop. So, yeah. T100. Because dude, T100 was a
that was the next one on mine.
Oh man, I'm sorry, Jay.
That was a good one.
T100 is a relentless killing machine. It was that was the first time, at least in my lifetime, I saw a movie where you cannot kill the villain. It won't die. Like after the fire, it's burning up, and you think, "Oh, the nightmare's over." No.
It's
not done.
It's not done. I'm not done. That's what 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 4? No, that was 3.
You got one more.
All right, I'm gonna do 1 and 1A if I can. Starscream.
T1000. Yes.
T1000. T1000. Sorry. Wait. T1000 was Robert Patrick, I thought, right?
He was 1000. Are you talking about the 800? That was Arnold.
I'm talking about Arnold.
800.
I'll be back. Yeah. 800. Okay.
Yeah.
He kept it 800.
He kept it 100, 800. Starscream, because Starscream is such a jackass, and he's a villain, man, because he's trying to out villain the villain, and I love it at every turn.
Every turn.
And, dude, in the movie when they're doing his coronation, and Megatron comes back as Galvatron. That's one of the greatest.
What did you say his name was?
Galvatron.
Megatron, is that you?
Here's a hand. That was one of the coolest entries for a bad guy. It's like, oh, you are not effing around here.
Hey man, he turned Starscream in the ashes, man. I was like, yeah, this is it. This sets the tone.
Then he just stepped on the crown too. That was
dude, hilarious.
I don't even want
it. Yeah, I only one. This is stupid. This one may be unpopular. Unicron was awesome too, bro. Tony Montana.
Oh yeah,
Tony Montana.
He's a freaking villain.
He's a villain. He's not. Look, Tony Montana allowed himself to get played totally out from the onset, man. When he went out there with Omar the Sosa, you think about that real quick. You've been dealing with Omar and what's my man Frank Robert Loja's character. You've been dealing with them all this time, and today is the day you find out Omar's a snitch or whatever. Yeah, shut up. No, you had this eager beaver right here.
You should have played fair with you.
There you go.
Mel,
Tony destroyed everyone's life around him.
You don't flash straight, Mel.
I will. He killed his own best friend. He just got a laundry list, man. I do love that scene with Mel. Hey, Mel went out like a G because he told Tony exactly what he could do. He went out like a G. Yeah, but Tony, man, he destroyed everybody's life around him, all because he couldn't stop himself.
All right, bro. Who's your final five?
Last five. All right. Kaiser Sose.
Nice.
Kaiser Sose. Harvey Dent.
Which version?
The Dark Knight.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Batman Forever.
I was a villain for.
He's a villain.
Oh yeah, okay. I got Zod from the Smallville show, season 9.
Good choice.
Next one, Ming the Merciless.
You.
And my final one is Xerxes from the 300.
Good call. All right. So my final five, John Kreese, a dude who goes from the movies to the TV screen. He's just, oh man, he stays villain.
Consistent. Yeah.
Absolutely. There's no redemption here, baby. Can't forget about Bane. What a lovely voice. Number 4, these are in order. Kaiser Sose.
Kaiser Sose.
Obvious reasons. Number 3, Ramsey Bolton. I didn't think I would hate anyone as much as I did Joffrey. And Ramsey was like, here, take my entire mead barrel. And he was like, here, take it. I'm about to be even worse. And he was just like so mean, just for no reason. He was like, here, what did Joffrey do? All right, I'm going to do everything even more so. Hey, why don't you go run?
This dude actually made you forget Theon. I mean, you actually were like,
I feel bad for Theon.
I mean, that was effort. I mean, like, this dude
turned him into a eunuch, right?
He sure did. I mean, I felt bad for him. It's like,
yeah,
you're terrible. So he was absolutely. And then number 2, probably the second most effective villain on my list, Baron Zemo, because this dude got the Avengers to split up and he basically doomed the universe when Thanos came through. So your plan failed. Did it? It did not, sir. So yeah, he's number 2. And my number 1 on the list, without a shadow of a doubt, Frodo. Kidding.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's actually not Frodo, even though he takes all the credit for doing nothing. And after everyone sacrifices, Boromir gets killed, all these people are laid out. He's like, nah, I'm keeping the ring. I feel like he should still be on this list. Maybe he's my honorable mention number 1. So he's going to be there. My number 1 in reality, though, is Palpatine, aka Darth Sidious. I mean, the dude is so masterful with everything he does, and he can't stand anybody, including his Padawans, to be happy. Oh, Asajj and you were cool? You know what? Take her out. She ain't did nothing to you. Nah, take her out. Oh, you got a brother? I'm gonna come and take y'all out too. He is so mean, and he didn't need anything beyond what happens in the prequels. But then you watch Clone Wars, the dude's even worse. So yeah, he is my absolute solid number one. Let's see what else everybody else came with. David Thanos said Crowley from Supernatural.
Whoa. Really? Crowley?
80 says Jack Napier Joker and Heath Ledger Joker, as well as Scarecrow. Voldemort says Snake Eyes. Mark A says President Snow. Good call. R.I.P. Donald Sutherland. And the 90s Koopa. Also Cypher from Fast and Furious. Cypher?
Gosh, what is it?
Oh, right.
He's like,
hey,
yeah. if you love Cypher, I think you should tell him.
Right. I mean, we got a little tie-in job connection in there. Dr. Evil says Randy Reviews. There you go, Chief. Ravishing Rick Roos. Keep the noise down over there, David. Castor Troy, face off.
I'm Castor Troy.
All right, Chief. You got some more?
I was looking at I'll finish. I'll just go through. I'll just name two of them.
All right.
So we got the movie that scared everybody from out of the water, Jaws. Let me tell you, man, people weren't going to the beach and to the ocean for a while after that movie came out. Nobody wanted any parts of the great white shark. Also, I've got another classic, The Wicked Witch of the West. And it's funny because
That's a classic.
I loved it in the 1930 version or 40 version. I loved that Wicked Witch too. But then when I saw was Mila Kunis,
yes,
that whole little part there,
the great and powerful,
right? When she bit, because the rest of the movie was some cut, but that 5 minutes of her and her sister talking, she bites the apple, flips over the table, and then you just see the shadow. I was like, oh, and then she just started laughing.
Did you watch that movie in 3D?
No, man.
Man,
I saw my 3D television, man.
That was one you should watch. I watched that in 3D, and I'm like, I like that movie.
Yeah, tell me about it, man. That Jaws thing was
he's a great character. That's why but when Crowley starts, he's a bastard. He's really good. Oh, I love Crowley. So yeah.
We are the initiated.
But yeah, man. And here's a wild one, man. Shorty was just. I remember
you were a wild one.
I remember I was young, so this was the 90s. I'm young. And I saw this movie, and it was the first kind of movie of its kind that I saw before Hand That Rocks the Cradle or whatever, was this movie called Scorned with Shannon Tweed. Did you ever watch that movie?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It
didn't leave much of an impression.
Shannon Tweed, I'm like, I don't really remember too much about it.
Well, Shorty, let me tell you, Shorty was the ultimate villain. So if you ever get a chance, man, and you gotta settle down, man, and watch that movie.
David, I'm digging that one. Excellent call.
David, he's digging David Xanatos. All right, well, it's that magical time, fellas. Do you have your nominees for Dummies of the Week? And Chief has been going first so much. I only think it's fair to keep that streak continuing. But then I thought, let's mix it up a little bit. And why don't we have Jay King go after Jace?
Okay. So my dummy of the week is the Bachelor franchise. The Bachelor franchise finally figured out, hey, they had to release like a kind of a statement saying they did not protect their first African American bachelor, Matt James, from all the racism he received. Now, Matt James was corny as hell, dude. I mean, it's like you couldn't protect him, dude. He literally was corny as hell. That was it. But it was, hey, you probably should know based on everything online. If you're the first African American on anything, African American female, you probably need to worry about the internet trolls sabotaging your thing. That wasn't a thing. You should have known that. And for them to come back, 6 or 7 years after there's been first everybody's on Bachelor, like, you know what? Maybe we screwed up on that whole Matt James thing. Who knew?
Matt James was corny.
Yeah, I mean, his choice and his ultimate choice is like, really, bro? That was the way you wanted. Good look on that one, man. She's done the work.
It now.
She's done the work. Okay, bro. Yeah. So the fact that they finally had to come out with a statement saying, "Oh, maybe we should have done better," they are my dummy of the week.
Hey, July 8th is the next season of The Bachelorette.
Jeff, when's the last time? Have you watched the last couple seasons?
I have. I'm just like,
Are y'all? I mean, it's just you are trying to get everybody on these shows on The Bachelor. It's literally going, all right, how many extra endorsements can I get? Because I'm not getting married. It doesn't matter. Hell, even the Golden Bachelor was like, yeah, I'm going to try and get on this fame train. Oh, hey, I'm done with that too. Like, no, just stay away from it.
All right. J. King, what you got?
I'm going to go with the New York Knicks for trying to recreate the Villanova championship team. The OG Anunoby 200, what do you get? 280?
225.
225.
Like, this guy is a role player. Like 225.
Role player.
Like, $40 million. I mean, what is that? 40 plus million for a role player. These are not Chris Webber, Shaq. They are dwarfing that money for these all-stars for their role players now. It's like,
dude, that was rare air. Rare air, right? Now you could be a 15-point per game scorer and come off with max money. It is nuts out here.
I mean, hey, think about Klay Thomas is asking for $30 million probably coming off the bench.
Klay Thompson at least.
He's asking that for everybody. Like that's a legacy price asking that from Golden State. It's like, just retire at this point. Hey, call it. Now, Randy,
I wouldn't let Klay Thompson run my concession stand right now. You washed up. Go get you a suit and a microphone and go up there and join Draymond and commentate or something. Because you're not starting, you're not coming off my bench. The day is passing by.
Wait, the fact that Chris Paul's making $30 million, I'm like, come on, y'all.
Chris Paul is robbing the bank with no mask. There's no way. Chris Paul is a parking cone out there, man. You can walk right past him. He's a cutout. He is a cutout these days. I'm not paying you to stand there, dude. No, I'm sorry. Look,
I'm coming off the bench. Now I'm not even coming off the bench. I'm getting treatment. Thanks, guys.
Man, I respect your career. You've had a legendary NBA career. It's sad that you won't get that ring, but I'm not giving you more than $5 million. You're getting a veteran minimum, and that's it. And I'm gonna give you a human victory cigar at this point. I'm not going to put you out there so some 22-year-old can run past you like you standing on a median watching cars go by on the freeway. No, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I don't know what the Knicks are doing. Look, they have pieces, but I would not have given OG that money because Rick Brunson's kid, Jalen Brunson deserves that money. It's funny that I referred to him as Rick Brunson's kid because I remember his father, more than I remember him, right?
Hey, would you have traded, was it 8 draft picks for Mikal Bridges?
I wouldn't have traded 8 draft picks for Michael Jordan. Eventually, you're going to get old. You know what I mean? I got to build it.
Come on, man.
Jace, you don't trade that many draft picks.
I don't disagree with you.
That's crazy.
I was rooting for Edmonton to come back in that series, frankly.
Me too. Well, if they had Jules and Marcus, not Marcus, what's my man named Robinson? If they'd have had Jules and Robinson, that series looks a hell of a lot different. They actually go to see Boston rather, and that's a different series altogether. I don't know what New York is doing. They're trying to capitalize on a window, but this ain't the way. I hope that this spending spree and this trade works out because 8 picks for Mikal Bridges is wow. That's wild work. You could have pulled off that for Ja Morant.
Would you want?
Would I want Ja? Hell yeah. Prime of his career, athlete like that. He's not only butts in the seats. Hey, Ja Morant took a Memphis team to what? A couple games from the championship? They were like 2 games away from the finals. And they had, what's his name? Brooks. They had Brooks.
Darren Brooks.
They had nobody on that team other than him. Jared Jackson, but other than that.
I mean, but you saw where their record was without him, so.
Exactly. I think he needs to change the series, not to make this a sports talk hour, but I would trade, if I'm even going to approach 8 picks, and I know I wouldn't do it because that's just wild and stupid, because you got to build. These guys are going to get older, and what are you going to replace them with? What are you going to build your roster with without draft picks? Good intentions. If I'm going to swing for the fence like that, I'm going to do it for a prime of his career guy that's a 25-plus point per game scorer, a difference maker. Not going to do it for a guy that is a rotation guy. Sorry, that's just stupid.
All right, my choice is me for watching Jessica Alba's Trigger Warning on Netflix. It would have needed some effort to be boring. It was
Chief is judging you, it looks like.
No, I mean, see, I was trying to convince Dad. I was like, hey, it's a new movie on Netflix. Let's watch it. And it's all right. We start watching it, and we're gonna get past like maybe the credits just because other stuff was going on. But man, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna watch this. It was such a terrible decision. The movie was just not great. And it was one of those, it felt like they were writing a Lifetime movie. Old girl comes back home, reunites, reconnects with her old flame, finds out, oh, what's going on in town. And then it's like, there's some shady stuff going on in town too. And she uses knives. She's an ex-soldier, or she's a soldier on leave. And it's so bad. I mean, like, Atlas was at least offensive in a, wow, this is so ridiculous. It's terrible. I'm gonna keep watching. This one's like, I could set it on, take a nap, do some laundry, make a snack, take a shower, and then like, oh, okay, now I figured out what's happening. Which is just not a great idea.
Jessica Alba would have had to shaking her bare behind in a 2-minute trailer to get me to watch 5 minutes of that movie.
Well, that didn't happen.
Yeah, I know it didn't.
No, it did not. Chief, who's your nominee?
Man, listen, it's hard to move about in these viral times, man.
Oh God.
And there was a guy on the plane the other day who just wanted to cheat and get some action from the girl next to him, man.
What?
And yeah, he had a wedding ring on, but he's talking to the girl in the seat next to him, and another girl, for whatever reason, is paying attention to their conversation. So she secretly starts taping them and taking pictures and like, hey, I'm on flight such and such. If you know this guy, he's talking to this girl, and he's got a wedding ring on, and her name is Katie, and I think he's going to end up sleeping with her. And I'm like, yo, why can't you mind your business? What does that have to do with you on this plane, man? Why are you in the plane taping some other dude and what this man is doing? That's none of your business. That's not your man. It's not your husband. It's not no one you know. That is a mind your business move. Let this man cheat in peace. Now, not only has this man been exposed for cheating, right? Because let me tell you something. It's probably it takes a lot probably to land a woman. He didn't take off his wedding ring, so he was honest with her. And to land a woman on the plane, right, on the plane, in a couple of hours on a flight to Houston. He did his work. He did his propers. All she had to do was mind his business, right? Mind her business, right? She like, oh, they dipped off to the bathroom together. So what?
Wow.
Why would you say that? Why would you expose this man? Then, of course, the internet's loose and yada, yada, yada. Then they put up the man's business on
It's on like business where he works.
he's the owner of his own business, but now they've put it up. He was going on a business meeting. So now his business is, first of all, now, because you couldn't mind your business, his marriage may be in trouble. His business may be in trouble because he might have got down there to whatever, may have sealed the deal, and they may have carried him. They may have said, well, look, man, we're not going to go through the deal, go with the deal because your moral fiber isn't right. But that's none of your business whether his moral fiber is. You know what I mean? But now you can't go through the deal with the man. You know what I mean? All because he was interested in Katie in the seat next to him. You know what I mean? So now you've ruined this man's home life. You ruined the thing with a side piece that he just got. You ruined his job. You ruined all this for what? So you can go viral and gain some extra followers. Like that's none of your. I hope someone catches you swiping money or not giving a tip at a restaurant because they're gonna vilify you the same way. You know what I mean? Like that's none of your business. Like why people can't mind their businesses with their cameras? You know what I mean? Because let me tell you something, man. You find the right cheater and he's gonna whoop you.
I mean, I hate to say this, but it's just like, hey, we there was some things like, back in, let's say, 2000s, there were cell phones, but everybody didn't have them out because they were actually trying to live their life.
And the camera sucked. Let's be honest.
Exactly. I mean, but it's like you trying to do this. It's like you're not going to have the next video.
Right.
Once you did your one viral video, no one will care about you.
1.5
It's like, they're dumb. Like, oh, you have a other video. There's no monetization. There's no content. Like, just
listen, man. Why can't a man cheat in peace anymore? Why can't anybody cheat in peace? You know what I mean? And
you were taking money out of private eye's pocket.
I'm just like, gosh, dang, man. So, hey, listen, man, if you out there cheating, be careful, man. They're watching you. Somebody's watching you. Somebody's listening to your conversation. I mean, because I've seen this a lot. It might be a dude at a sports game, and he's texting. You know what I mean? Nah, I'm not doing nothing. I'm saying,
how do you know he's actually cheating?
Huh?
Well, that's the problem. It's like he's lost her ring at the actual joint.
Could have been his wife.
You don't know anything.
How many times you been at a bar or something, and your woman come up to you and be like, "Hey, sexy, hey, stranger," and then get to talking to you like she don't know you? That happens all the time. You know what I mean? So you don't know, but now you put everything in jeopardy behind this, right? And then, like I said, there's times where people at a sports game, you're supposed to be watching a sports game, but you all into this man's text in front of you, taking pictures and screenshots. And I just think that's just a weird flex for likes, man. Man, let a man cheat in peace. Let a woman cheat in peace, man. Hey, listen.
But
what's up, man?
This where we at though now, Chief. It used to be secrets. It used to be mind your own business is how you get along in this life. Now everybody's Martin Scorsese. Everybody is eyewitness news because they got that camera in their pocket. So nothing's off the table. It's a sad state of affairs, and people will record things or put people out there, put themselves out there just for likes and views. They don't care what information they're putting out there about themselves or others, as long as their internet peanut gallery is amused and it gets them the attention that they crave. It's a weird time, man. It's no end in sight with this. It's only getting worse.
Listen, man, I'm telling you what. If you see my lady out there cheating, don't tell me nothing. I'm not moving into my mama's basement because you felt me snitch on. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, I'm in that joint. I'm sitting in that joint just in a hovel, looking at a 13-inch black and white because you felt the need to go out there and say something. Don't say nothing. Let me live.
Leave it be.
Leave it be, man. Look, she coming home. He can't take nothing with him. She coming home. It'll be all right. You know what I mean? So don't let me listen, man. Don't tell me nothing. So that is my rant of the day, my dummy of the week. People who record other people's business when it's none of your business. And it's getting strange out there, man. It's getting strange out there. You almost gotta, I don't know what you gotta do nowadays, man. Maybe get a jail pen pal. They got him. So if you're lonely and you want a baddie, she's in jail waiting for that letter.
All right. Well,
hey Jeff, you know what I'm talking about?
No. Like for the third consecutive week, I have no idea what you're talking about. All right. Well, thank you all as always for hanging out. And roll call: Jamelin Parks, 80s kid from the 90s, Snake Eyes, Bert, David Thanos, Randy Reviews, Keith Cooper, Snake Eyes, Afton Child. Let's see here. Did I forget anybody? Yes. Snake Eyes, Anthony Rogers, 80s kid from the 90s, of course.
And Thanos, you right.
Let's see.
How your parlay looking, Thanos?
All right. I think that's everybody. All right. Good deal. Well, that's it for this episode. Of course, we'll be back on next week. We got another assignment that I can start working on and send it out to you guys tonight, so you're not have to scramble tomorrow. And of course, on Thursdays, I'll be back on for another edition of Lyles Figure Files. But for now, this episode of Lyles Movie Files has been filed.